Ladies and gentlemen, the Alpha Network is open once again today in order to test out Skyblock Levels Part 2, which has received a few changes. My name is Derailious, welcome back to Skyblock News, and let's launch right into it. Before we get into what's really different here, we want to talk about what's the same. And between the last alpha and this one, the main thing that's the same is the fact that the Skyblock leveling menu is now in your Skyblock menu instead of in your profile. This has not changed. Clicking on the Skyblock leveling menu, things are a little bit different. Starting from the left, we have your level ranking, then the ways to gain XP, and then the to-do list, which has received some pretty major changes. Moving on to the bottom, we have Skyblock chapters, a new system coming soon that allows you to, quote, progress through Skyblock's expansive world and story by completing goals and earning rewards. This seems to be a replacement to the system last time, in which you could do certain tasks to receive certain rewards. This looks pretty cool, and it says that from the forums post that they're going to post when they release this update, we're going to hear more about Skyblock chapters, which I am really interested in. Clicking on the ways to gain XP, the amount of subdivisions here has been lowered. There's no longer 10 or 11, but 8. Going from the top, we have core tasks, event, dungeons, essence shop, slaying, skill related, miscellaneous, and story. And there are some new things here as well, such as the Ice Essence Shop, and it also includes some things that are new if you haven't watched my last video on the subject, things like mythological kills for instance, crystal nucleus runs, Anita shop upgrades, and also some stuff like Reaper Peppers, which now give you 10 XP up to a cap of 5, so 50 extra XP. Moving on to the to-do list, there's also a few new things about this system. The amount of things in your to-do list has been increased pretty substantially. As you can see, it's pretty much double what it used to be. How this works is it splits you up into what part of the game you're in, although that terminology has been removed. For me, it says starter, amateur, intermediate, skilled, and expert. And as you can see, as you go through the list, more and more of these tasks reveal themselves. Starting from the basics, we have things like get some basic skills, get some slayers done, get some pet score, get some accessories, etc. But going into the expert tier, we have stuff like trophy fish, bank upgrades, defeating Kudra. So these things are supposed to kind of track your progress through the game, show you how far in you are, and I guess they wanted to remove the references to what part of the game you're in as to not either upset people or make people think that they're further in the game than they are. I think that the latter is more likely here. Some people might get a big head and say, well, it says that I'm endgame here, so I'm clearly a pro at this game. When in reality, there's a lot that goes into being a good player, and it's not just how many harp songs you have completed. Something else I want to note here is that if I hit tab, you can see that levels seem a little bit high, and that's because there's a lot more things to do now. There's a lot more tasks, and therefore a lot more XP. Don't be that surprised if you go up 5, 10, or even 15 levels from this update. Obviously, people that are more endgame will go up much more, which makes a lot of sense. I'm 3200th in this sort of ranking here, putting me in the top 10% of players. This is obviously only the people who they have tabulated in their alpha calculations out of 27,000 total players. I am not a pro by any means, but I went from 185 to 191, and if you're above 200 or above 250, don't be that surprised if you go up 10 or 15 levels once again. Really cool stuff here, kind of spreading out what you need to do beyond not just a few specific things, but generally across the whole game. I really like the Essence Shop ones. I think these are super cool. I'm going to have to grind these out on my main profile to get that extra XP, and I'm also going to have to focus a lot more on dungeons and also the core ones, because these give you up to 14,800 XP or 148 levels, as you can see here. Generally, this update seems to be an improved version of the levels system and improved over the previous iteration that we had on the alpha about 2 weeks ago now. Really cool stuff from the admins, they're doing a great job. Lots of updates in the pipeline right now. Not only are we getting this, but we're getting Kudra Tier 5 and the Party Finder pretty soon. After that, we're getting things like Garden, and after that, we're getting the Wizard Portal, and then we'll finally start hearing information about the Foraging Island, so there's going to be a lot to do in Skyblock over the next year and a half. Really great stuff from the admins though. Really like this update a lot. I love the new system of to-do lists. Really interested about how chapters are going to work. I remember in the previous system they were a little bit funky. They were giving you way too many rewards, I thought, for early game players. and they didn't really matter at all for endgame people. So I want to see what they do with that and maybe how they turn it into a system that works for pretty much everybody. At the end of the day though, my name is Derailious. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and join my Discord down below for giveaways and updates. And look to the future, fellas, because I will see you then.